Today, we're breaking down Brilliant, a beautifully designed and wildly successful learning app. Welcome to episode 58 of the App Breakdown. You've probably seen ads from Brilliant. I have certainly seen ads from Brilliant. They sponsor just about every YouTuber under the planet, but their product is actually very, very cool. I've tried it a few years ago. I haven't touched it in a long time, so it's basically going to be like a first impression, and you're going to get to see it. So let's open up Brilliant here. Beautiful and extremely simple splash screen just with their logo and the shine coming through. It's so simple and so clean. Okay, very cool. I wish there was some haptic when the shine is coming through. It's like boom. It would be the extra power. Okay, and now we have learn by doing. Interactive problem solving that's effective and fun. Okay, let's hit continue. Nice little touch on their CTAs. I'm not sure if you noticed. I'm gonna go back. The CTA has that little shadow on the bottom, and as I tap it, it becomes pressed. So that's just a nice little touch that I suppose they're gonna use all throughout the app. And now we have their little mascot. It reminds me of the mascot from Duolingo or other apps, but it's super cool, and I guess it's gonna guide me through the onboarding. Okay, let's build a learning path just for you. So the onboarding is gonna be me essentially building my learning path. My top goal is staying sharp, okay? And as I tap these different options, there's different reactions from the character. They feel a bit like pre-programmed because if I type, they switch very fast. I wish whenever people do characters in apps, I always wish for them to be as natural as possible. And so in this case, it would take some time for it to give you a new answer. Let's just go with stay sharp. I'm digging this selected state with a purple gradient on the background. It's not something I was expecting. So let's hit continue. What do you want to focus on? Learning specific skills. Let's go with that. Okay, and their animations are just incredible. I love the animation work they're doing here. I wonder if it's Rive or if it's Lottie. I guess they've probably written blog posts about it if they're using Rive. So let's just continue. Reach big learning goals. Oh, by the way, if you don't know, Rive and Lottie are just different animation frameworks. So they would be different ways to do this style of animation. Go, let's hit continue. Which topic do you want to focus on first? Okay, let's do math. That adds up. Okay, cheeky. What's your math level? Okay, we're gonna go with the basic. Start for basics for the video. Okay, and now we have here learn more effectively. An analysis of 200 plus studies shows that active learning is far more effective than lectures or videos. So basically the entire app is based around the fact that you are gonna do something instead of just learning about it. What's your daily goal? Let's go with 5 minutes. Boom. Morning routine, and we see here the mascot taking its little coffee. Afternoon break, it's doing Sudoku. Ritual night, it's drinking some tea, and another time it has no object. But I'm really loving these like small interactions with the character. Let's hit continue. Okay, we have here the classic allow notification step with the fake pop-up from Apple. So we're gonna press allow, and now, oh, nothing has happened. Okay, actually this is a good example of a bad use of this technique. So usually what designers and developers do in this case is they show you the fake prompt and the arrow to press allow. And then when you press allow, they show you the real prompt, and the hope is that you just mindlessly tap and tap on allow on the real one so that you accept notifications. But here they're showing the fake prompt and the arrow, but then they have a continue button. And so by instinct, what I did was I tried trapping instead of tapping on continue. So this is a good example of how not to do this type of screen. If you're gonna go for the fake pop-up, make people press allow and not continue for the actual pop-up to appear. So let's press don't allow in this case. Another cool animation, gets smarter every day. I'm guessing they're gonna introduce streaks. Your personalized learning path is ready. Okay, cool. And now we have another classic of asking for account creation only after the user has given value to the app. So now that you've spent all of this time doing all of these things in the onboarding, you better create an account because you want to save them. So let's continue with Apple here. Boom, continue here in my blurred email. And we're gonna create my learning profile. All right, they have my name, surname, ask for the age. I guess they don't get that from Apple. I'm gonna go with 25 and hit sign up. And the first thing we see is actually a paywall. I was expecting them to put us in a learning experience first and foremost, and then bring up the paywalls. But in this case, it's just paywall. Let's start my free week. Okay, I see that they're using a kind of template for the paywall because I've seen this style of paywall many times in the past. Start my free week. Again, it's the classic 3-step paywall, which I'm personally not at all a fan of, but as long as it converts well for them, the numbers are everything that matters in this case. And once again, we're gonna tap start my free week. They are trying to subscribe me for the yearly plan and just give me a week trial. In this case, let's try to see what the free version looks like. So I'm just gonna close the paywall on the top right, and we're gonna get to see the basic experience. All right, here's what I recommend. Get started with one and switch anytime. Okay, so we can start basically with any of these like courses. Let's go with foundations for algebra. I like that they expand when they're selected, but the animation itself is not great. So let's go continue. Foundations for algebra. We're still, by the way, we're still not on the homepage. It's another one of those very long onboardings. So what is this? Foundations for algebra, strengthen your math fundamentals. And here, I thought they were gonna be tappable because they look like buttons kind of. So I just tried tapping them, but we just need to hit continue. If they don't want us to tap on anything there, I wonder why they even show that screen. Just take me through it. Let's start learning. Okay, I've got 2 keys, whatever those are. You'll get 2 keys every day. Are we on the homepage? Are we on the homepage finally? Yes, we are. And we have a very cool example of a basically fallback for notifications. So apps like Brilliant, who are massive, know very well that a user without notifications sticks much less and has much less retention than a user with notifications. I'm of course generalizing, but this is true for the vast majority of apps. And so the first thing they try to do when I get to the homepage is actually get me to activate notifications again, because I did not do so during the onboarding. And my guess is that if I continue to use the app for many days, almost every day, they're gonna prompt me with this. So in this case, we're gonna dismiss it by tapping outside. Cool, and we are officially on the homepage. So what do we have here? We have my keys on the top left, energy top right. We have the recommended section in the middle. I'm guessing this is like the activity that we're gonna do, the learning activity. Then we have the start button with the shine that they also have on the splash screen. I really love the shine going through it. And then we have our navigation. The first thing I notice is that the design overall is very clean, much cleaner than on the onboarding actually, because on the onboarding there was a shadow up top on the header that really didn't belong there. And things are well balanced. I like the icons. I love the illustrations. So let's start tapping around. Let's start from the top left as usual. We're gonna hit the keys. We have here just a nice little half sheet telling me that I have 2 keys left today. And we use keys to unlock sessions. Okay, let's try tapping on unlock all sessions now. See what that does. It pulls up the paywall. Okay, let's close it. And I see that they use, this is cool, they use this style of just gradient to signify that it's a paid feature. So you notice here the gradient on the button, and then you see also the gradient on the premium section of the paywall. So I'm guessing that every time we see that gradient, it's gonna be a paid feature. Cool, let's tap on the energy on top right. Okay, another little half sheet, very clean. I'm guessing this is gonna become the streaks. On the empty state, I wish it had some kind of explanation, because right now it doesn't really tell me what it is or what I would want it for. But yeah, the empty state could be better. The half sheet is clean. Now let's go ahead and try to scroll through here. Okay, the scrolling carousel is very satisfying. There's a little haptic when the new element is selected. The elements slowly come into view and become larger. There's a nice bounce on the animation itself. And then the fact that the top elements and the button at the bottom change color is just fantastic. Okay, I really love this. Notice how, for example, even the little ring around the mascot changes color. Okay, these types of tiny details are just amazing. Let's tap start here on the first lesson. So we're gonna hit start. Nice, this just reminds me of Duolingo. I was literally gonna say, here's the Duolingo coming down, but it's like, It's green. It's a flat mascot. They use it in funny ways. Like, one of them took inspiration from the other. Let's just say that. I don't know which is which, but one of them definitely takes inspiration from the other. And we have here the first learning exercise. So at the top, we have the header with close, progress, and energy. At the bottom, we have the check for my solution. And then we have the actual problem in the middle with a nice title, description, and then action zone, essentially. So find half, okay, color one half of the shape. So I just have to tap them. Yep. Okay, and there's haptics when I tap and select zones. That's cool. And then if I hit check, okay, just like Duolingo, there's the correct sheet at the bottom. And by the way, I'm saying just like Duolingo a lot, but this is in no way like throwing shade at Brilliant or at Duolingo. I think that when a pattern works very well for something, you should repeat it in different places. Of course, you can use different style, different placement, whatever. But if a pattern works very well for a competitor, you should likely just reuse it and then innovate on the things that you're actually very good at. Which, in the case of Brilliant, I guess it's the challenges themselves and not the UI at the bottom confirming that something is done. So yeah, just a little reminder to not innovate on everything and actually copy the things that work well in the industry. And if you see them side by side, Brilliant and Duolingo are both learning apps, but one is for learning languages, the other one is for learning math and other things. So it just makes sense that they reuse the same UX patterns. Okay, let's click on continue here. See the next challenge. Okay, once again, is to color half of the shape. In this case, let's make it wrong and go with 2/3 here just to see what the wrong state looks like. Gonna hit check. Okay, there's a different haptic. There's like an error haptic, and then it's yellow, and we can either try again or see the answer. Let's try seeing the answer. Again, they reuse the same half sheet, and we have the button for why, which pulls up an entire panel showing you why the answer is what it is. Okay, pretty cool. Is this entire lesson just gonna be like coloring half of shapes? Cool, and we see the energy up top for the first time. I still don't know what it means, but now we have one energy, whatever that means. So let's continue with the lesson here. Okay, we have a cool animation for a skill check in the middle of the lesson. So let's hit continue and see what that is. I really love the animation work here. And now I think the skill check is basically just switching things up a bit, you know, because the last few questions were all very similar. And now it's slightly different. It's a triangle. Okay, once again, triangles. Is there going to be another skill check? I don't know. Check. Finish. And I think that now we're at the end of the session. So we're going to hit finish and see what that end state actually looks like. Boom. Cool animation as was expected. We have total XP. They make no mention of the energy that I gained during the lesson, so I still don't know what that is. Gonna hit continue. Okay, and now they make use of the energy. So it's a streak. That's what it is. And now we have our Friday streak. I love the animations. I know I've said this a lot, but they're just extremely cool. Gonna hit continue. Congrats. Now let's help you make learning a daily habit. Cool. And we have that classic like commit to a streak. We have seen the same streak commitment technique in a few apps in the past. I have talked about how I think it's actually detrimental to some apps, but for apps like Duolingo and Brilliant, if the whole goal is to make a daily habit out of the app, I think this is the kind of context where it makes sense. And they will know better than me because they have the actual data to back it up. So in this case, let's just go with a 3-day streak and commit to the goal. Okay, reach your goals with reminders. Nice. Once again, they tell me to activate notifications as a fallback to the onboarding and as a fallback to the fallback on the homepage. And this is a very timely way to do it. I actually love that they did it at the end of the session and after me committing to a streak, because now I get what the value is. It's like, okay, you made this commitment, you want to be reminded of it, activate notifications to know. So let's press allow notifications, see if they show some kind of video. No, but they also do something that is very good and unique, which is they link me inside of the settings page where I actually just need to press the button. And the reason I'm highlighting this is because whenever you do fallback notification access, there's two places on the settings where you can link. You can either link just to the notifications tab, or you can link just to the app inside settings. But as we just saw, you can link specifically to notifications inside of the app, inside of settings. And so then the user knows exactly what to do because there's only one toggle on the screen. So it's a tiny detail, but that matters a lot when you're trying to regain the confidence of people to activate notifications. So when I came back from activating notifications in settings, it seems like the app froze, which is a shame. So I'm just gonna cut it here and go back in. We probably lost some kind of flow, but now we're back in. We see that we have one key. So we spent one key on this lesson. We have one energy, and now we see that the energy tab is a bit more complete. And I should stop calling it energy, but it's just because of the flash. It's actually a streak. And we have this session as complete. So now instead of the mascot being in a little circle, it's behind the modal. There's a nice glow at the bottom, just a nice gradient, and we have the check mark. So we can continue the course or we can swipe to another one. This is a miss on animations. I swiped to see if the mascot would like slowly go into the circle. That would have been an exceptionally cool touch. Okay, and now instead of continuing the course, because you're not gonna sit there and see me learn basic math, we're gonna go into the next tab, which is courses. So let's tap that. By the way, before even talking about this page, I'm really liking the design of their bottom nav. Like, it feels good. Okay, and here on courses, what do we have? We have different sections of courses up top, scrollable, boom, and then inside of those, just a big list of the courses we can do. And I was actually expecting it to be like separate pages, but it's actually just one big scroll with the scroll indicator up top. So there's not much to see here apart from the nice illustrations. Let's step into one of them to see what they look like. Let's go into probability in data. So now we have a full page just showing this course that is of 20 lessons and 144 exercises. The nav bar is gone, so it's a more evolved experience. And we have the complete learning path. Very cool. It reminds me of the arena selection in Clash Royale. If you've seen that episode, you know what I'm talking about. And it's also interesting that when I tap into it, there's no CTA to start, but the moment I start scrolling, there is a CTA to start and it actually stays there. So I wish the CTA was just there from the beginning to make me start. And you can also see the nice little animation of the centroid selection. So it's just going through them. And as I go further down the funnel, the CTA becomes a premium CTA because now I'm no longer just trying to start a lesson, I'm trying to actually jump ahead. And that's a premium feature. Pretty cool page. Let's go back, see if there's anything else to see here or if it's just a big list. I'm guessing it's just a big list. I wish there was some more diversity in the way they show this style of content. Because yes, they're just showing a bunch of courses, but there's different ways to spice it up. Like the news app is just news, but they have different formats. The app store is just apps, but they show them in different formats. So I wish they packaged them here with a bit more variety. Let's go into the premium section, where I'm guessing we're not going to see anything because we're just going to see the paywall. And I'm not going to pay for this one today. So, yep, that's the paywall. They gave it a full tab. I guess it makes sense. They need to make money. They're trying to convert users. I wish, though, that this tab, instead of being just the paywall, I wish that it was like giving me a taste of what the tab was going to be. Basically entice me. Make things blurred, block access to specific buttons, but give me a taste of what it is before I buy the whole thing. A cool analogy is whenever you go to an ice cream shop and there's tons of flavors, they usually give you a little spoon of it if you want, and then you'll actually buy the whole thing. So yeah, I wish they did more of that here. And last but not least, we have the U tab, which is going to be my profile. Unlock leagues and let the games begin. Once again, this looks exactly just like Duolingo, both in style and in just messaging in general. And there's nothing else that I can do on the profile. I wish there's settings at top right. Yeah, I wish they did a bit more with the empty state of the profile. Because think about it, you downloaded an app to learn something. So there's probably resources you're looking for. They could be here. And there's probably people you're going to learn this with, or that you also know are learning this thing. So you could share it with them, increase their K factor. I don't know, like there's more interesting stuff to put here than what they have here right now. But so is life. It's fine. Let's go back to the home. And the things that I'm going to shout out before closing in this episode are definitely the animation. Then secondly, the general just like product and graphic design. Things look extremely clean, even though not everything looks clean, just in general. For example, this carousel is just amazing. And one thing that I'm going to call out actually is just how clear the app is. No matter where you are, there's a big CTA, you know where to go next, and you know what to do. You're never lost. Apart from like the streaks, mishap, and tiny things, I think this app is exceptionally clear and does a very good job at putting you through the golden path and pushing you through it. So yeah, I'm really glad we got to take a look at Brilliant. I'm a fan, and I'll see you on the next episode because you're also a fan of the channel.